So, what are the stories behind the traders and Arc Raiders? What were their lives like before the apocalypse? Before we get into that, we must know what kind of world they are living in and its history. Sure, we know that it is a post apocalyptic world infested by hostile robots, but there is much more to it than what meets the eye. To quickly explain the history of the in game world, Arc Raiders is set on Earth in the year 2180. Generations after simultaneous global natural disasters collapsed much of society. This led the people during this earlier time period to survive in the aftermath until the first wave of Ark descended from the heavens. The first wave Ark and humans fought ferociously against each other for a decade, and the humans prevailed, but it wasn't long before the Ark returned with vengeance. This brings us to where we are now in the game, the second wave, where humans are forced to live underground and come to the topside in search of supplies. Our raiders live in Speranza, a neighborhood of the underground city of Toledo. If you would like to hear a more detailed description about the world of Arc Raiders, click the video in the top right corner. This is the world our raiders and traders live in. But what about Celeste? What is her story? Before Celeste was the unofficial leader of Speranza,
King in the castle, king in the castle.
she was a young girl trying to make sense of the world after society had collapsed. At 9 years old, her home was destroyed, and she found herself among a band of raiders who fiercely battled against the Ark, despite many casualties. In her teenage years, Celeste had become a tough adversary to the Ark. She fought in the legendary Battle of Victory Ridge, which marked the end of the first wave. After her rough and tough upbringing, she became the woman we know today, leader of Speranza and dealer of all the small doodads you may be missing for a project in exchange for seeds. We know Tian Wen as the rude, shady gun dealer, but she may have her reasons to be this way. As a young girl, she had seen what the first wave Ark did to humanity and her own mother, leaving her emotionally scarred and bitter. Despite her mother being a renowned and fearless raider, Tian Wen realized in the years after her mother's death that people quickly forget the sacrifices of their ancestors. This very lesson led Tian Wen to the callous mentality and reclusive lifestyle she lives now. Of course, Lance, our robot friend willing to give us a free light looting augment in exchange for the free one. Not much is known about Lance's past, and it is even said that Lance himself is uncertain of his origins. Hopefully, we will receive more information in the future from Embark, but he is certainly one of my favorites right now. Like Lance, not much is known about Shani's past either. However, she is a necessary asset to Speranza's continued existence. She keeps a close eye on the activities of both Speranza and Topside, including raider hatches in the tubes that take raiders topside. She sees it as her duty to keep Speranza safe and study the Ark's behavior, and given the Ark's adaptive behavior, she has a hard time finding rest. Apollo, the wonderful shopkeeper responsible for all our favorite explosives. According to Shani, Speranza isn't the first settlement that he has lived at, and we don't know many details since Apollo seems to want to keep that information on the down low. Despite his obscurity, we know he has a good attitude and sells good weaponry. What more could we ask for? And there we have it. All our traders and their lore so far. I hope that Embark adds more to the game in terms of lore in the future, but it has been a great PvPvE experience so far. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and like for more content. Thank you.